Hi again guys, thank you so much for joining me back on my channel. Now today, I'll be going through a new project that we've just started, and this project is long overdue, and that's simply the renovation of the smallest bedroom in our house, which is going to be used as our office. Now my wife normally uses this room as an office when she works from home, but unfortunately there was some water damage to the walls that I'll be showing you now. Now this damage was done before we moved into the property, and this was because of faulty drains on the outside and the exterior of the property. That has since been fixed, and since then we've allowed the wall to dry out. I recently had a professional come in and re-plaster the walls. The main reason why I got a professional to come and do the plastering is the simple fact that that's one skill I've yet to master. My intentions were to save as much money as possible and do as much of the work as I could. I managed to find a plasterer who was able to do the job at a really competitive price, mainly because he was semi-retired and he didn't mind doing a smaller job of re-plastering half of this small room. As you well know by now, this channel is all about chasing those dreams. This will mean sometimes you'll have to compromise and you'll have to find the best solutions to save money in order to save and to reach those dreams. So I made this video to encourage you and to show you that you can actually do a lot of the DIY stuff around your house. And one of them that is generally quite easy to do once you have the know-how is painting. Now, I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination. I have been practicing painting over the years, but like I said, I'm not a professional. This is not what I do for a living. However, if I can do it, I'm sure you can do it too. So now that the plaster on the wall has dried, I've given it more than a week. It is now time for me to start preparing the walls and painting them. Obviously, there are some steps that needs to be taken before, such as sanding down of the walls, getting them nice and smooth before applying the first coat. Also, getting your tools and materials that you'll need to complete the job. Now, before getting this job started, I actually got some quotes on how much it will cost to get someone in to plaster and to paint and decorate the room. And let's just say it was just under £1,000. Now, there's no way I was going to spend £1,000 to get this job done. So I devised a strategy, which would include trying to get someone to do the plastering at a very affordable cost, which is what I have done. And secondly, I would buy my own paints or use what I previously had in storage in order to get the job done myself. I would do the painting and decorating. So now, without any further ado, I'm going to be showing you how I was able to get this job done and what it actually looked like before and how it will look after. Now, I hope my wife will like what the finished product looks like. I know my bank account certainly will, and she might even allow me to use the office every now and again.
I can imagine.
Now here I'm showing you all of the equipment that I actually used when doing the painting in this office. I managed to use some paints that I already had from previous paint jobs. I also was able to get some paint donated from a neighbour of mine because I recently helped her with some painting, so she kindly gave me some of her emulsion paint that was left over. Now you can see me here mixing some of this emulsion paint with some water. Now, I'm not losing my mind. This is something that's actually used within the trade. Now, fresh plaster is something that absorbs a lot of water, which is why the first coat that you put on should be quite thin, which when dry will allow the second coat to bond a lot better. Now I could have gone out and buy an expensive paint which would do the same job. Now I don't see the point of spending extra cash, especially because it was such a small job, so I'll just use my own DIY solution in order to get this done. So I'm just wrapping up here the first coat, which I'll then leave for a day or so for it to dry enough before adding the second coat. Now here you can see it all dried and finished, ready to receive its second coat. It actually came out really well. The first coat has actually given it a really nice surface for the second coat to bond to, and really this is what you're looking for. I know it don't look particularly special at the moment, but I can assure you this is exactly what you should be looking for. The first coat actually acts as a type of seal to prevent the second coat from going too deep into the actual new plaster that's been put on the wall. I decided to keep the entire room in white as this will help to mask any seams from where the old plaster meets the new. So I'm now applying the second coat, which already has started to make a huge difference, as you can see here. It's been approximately 24 hours between the first and the second coat, and I've left it a bit longer than I probably needed to, just to make sure that everything was okay. Now cutting in is something that nobody likes doing, but unfortunately it's a part of the job and you just have to get on with it. Hi guys, it's now the morning after the day before. I spent all of yesterday doing the first coats, cutting in, doing all of the undercoats for the room. I managed to squeeze in a second coat as well. Just came back in to have a first look with the daylight, and as you can see, everywhere is white and it's looking really nice and crisp. I am actually going to give it a third coat just to go over some of the places that might be a bit thin, that might still have some of the colour underneath coming through. But I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. And again, this is just me trying to save as much as I can, doing it myself, and just to encourage you all that you can actually make it happen. It might seem daunting at first, but trust me, when you get to the end and see the finished product, you'll absolutely love it. It's not completed yet, but I can already see that it's going to look amazing once it's done. I'm not showing it to my wife just yet. I want it to be a surprise. I told her to stay out of the room, so that way if it doesn't look good, I can just call in a professional to get it done. No, I'm joking. I'm sure it will look fine. I don't know if you can see just behind me, just there, I'm actually going to be putting that wall in a green colour that my wife has picked out, just to break up the white in the room and give a bit of colour, a bit of difference, contrast in here. But I think I'll keep everywhere else white. I've also got some white in the pendant, which I think will look quite nice with the copper. Once I've finished, I'll show you what the entire room looks like. I currently have the desk, which is a really nice sit and stand desk, which can move up and down. I've got it all covered over because I don't want to get any paint on it. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side once it's all done. Okay guys, I thought I'd just show you what the room currently looks like. So this is the side walls, which was painted in magnolia. I've since painted them in white, and also that was the wall that's recently been plastered. As you can see, you wouldn't be able to tell that it was recently plastered. I know the camera doesn't do it justice because the lighting in the corners aren't that great, but trust me, it looks really nice. It's blended in evenly with the walls on the side, so it's come out really nice. And beside it is where I'm going to be doing a feature wall, which will be in green, so hopefully that will come out nice once I got the first coat on there. So I've given every wall in the room at least one coat. I'm not going to go over this wall again, but the other walls I think just for good measure, just to finish up the paint that I have left in the tub. Now I do plan on putting some shelving on the walls. Not too sure exactly of the layout just yet. Now here we go guys, time for the grand reveal. I'm really happy in the way in which it all came together. I'm also really thankful because my wife was very pleased with how the job looked at the end of the renovation. Now the main reason for doing this renovation obviously was to try and save as much money as possible. I can now say that the total cost for the entire job was £245 all in. Now this included the plasterer removing all of the pre-existing damaged plaster, treating the walls, as well as re-plastering the wall. Now his cost was just £220 all in, which was a fair price for the job. The remainder of the money was spent on buying the paints, as well as an extra set of brushes for the coloured paint which I had to put on the wall. Overall, I'm really pleased with how it all came together, and I've managed to once again save myself hundreds of pounds by just doing the job myself. Now obviously the main reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to save as much money. As you well know, all the money that I'll be saving over the next few months will be going towards buying our first buy-to-let property. Now I'll be bringing you some more information on that shortly. This will hopefully get you up to speed at where we're currently at in terms of saving for the next phase in our property investing journey. I hope that this video has gone some way to show you what can be done if you just think outside the box, roll your sleeves up and have a go, because you can actually save yourself a lot of money if you do it yourself. Thank you for coming along on this journey. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe to this channel, and also don't hesitate to share this video with a friend in the hope that it may encourage them to also do the same. As always, this has been Kenroy saying, I'll see you when you see me. Take care.